My name is Brian Pertl. I am the Dean of the Lawrence Conservatory of Music. My Heid music story goes back to the early 80s. I was born and raised in Utah, and I came to Lawrence to study trombone performance and English. So very, very early on, after arriving in Appleton and starting my lessons, I needed a new mouthpiece for my trombone. So I walked over to Heid and I got my brand new mouthpiece, and it's the mouthpiece I still use today on my trombone. So that's what started my Heid story. And after graduating from Lawrence, I moved on in life and was in different states. But then in 2008, I came back as the Dean of the Lawrence Conservatory of Music. So I was back here, and then my Heid music story really started because Heid became an absolute invaluable partner to just about everything we would need to purchase for our conservatory. Practically every one of the 100 pianos that we have came through Heid, percussion instruments, I mean, you name it. To have a world-class music store within a block of a conservatory of music is a rare and beautiful gift. And so I'm grateful for Heid every day. What does making music mean to me? It means a lot. Ever since I was a little kid, I loved music. I didn't come from a particularly musical family, but for some reason I was just obsessed with music, and I was obsessed with musical instruments. And so when I was little, I'd save up my dimes and pennies, and when I had enough, I'd go to a local music store and I'd buy an instrument. One of the first instruments I bought when I was probably 6 or 7 was a mbira, a thumb piano. Ever since then, I was collecting instruments of all kinds and playing them, and fascinated by the sounds of what different instruments made. And then when I started playing trombone and participating in bands and orchestras and jazz ensembles, that feeling of making music with community, there's just nothing like it. And then as we moved on, and especially as Leela and I started working together, that notion of music as a creator of community, music as a creator of space, of welcoming spaces, spaces of collaboration, spaces of belonging, that has become a major focus of what we do at Lawrence University and what we do and how we envision how music can impact not only our local community, but communities around the world in positive ways. There were many. Probably first and foremost was Fred Sturm. Fred Sturm was the director of jazz studies at Lawrence University, and when I got here, he was also the trombone professor, and he became sort of my biggest influence and mentor. Both as a young musician, inspiring me to continue my musical journey. But what I didn't know back then when I first met him is that he would be an influence throughout my life. As I graduated, we stayed in touch, we started collaborating on projects, and then he would always invite me back to Lawrence to give talks and lectures. And one of those he said to me, "Brian, there's an open dean position, you need to apply for this." And so in a very, very real way, it was because of Fred that I'm back here at Lawrence and in Appleton today. So I'm always very, very grateful for his impact on my musical journey and life's journey. I too will say that being a part of the Mild Music and the Mild Music education team with Leela Ramagopal Pertl has been a highlight. It's been a shared vision of how music can create community and impact community. Heid has been a critical partner in that journey. But I love over these 9 years, we have had over 45,000 community members actively making music with us at the music education events, which is a pretty amazing thing to think about. And those numbers are only growing. For some of those people, it might be the first time they've gotten that spark and realized, oh, I can play ukulele, or I can write a song. I would like to do more. Or it might be a reawakening from a musical past where they're once again saying, man, I can do this. But to see music education on a broad scale, not just in our schools, but also on a scale where you can see individuals being impacted, has been an amazing thing. And for me, that's part of the Heid story too, because at every step of the way, Heid has been there to support this vision. Heid is one of our venues. When we need 150 ukuleles for a ukulele workshop, Heid is there to provide that. Guitars for mariachi workshops, keyboards. So, again, it's interwoven in the Heid story, but also for us, it's been a miraculous thing to be part of making that a reality. I'm so deeply grateful for Heid and its commitment to our community, and its commitment to our community over these many, many years. I think it is rare for any retail business to be around for as long as Heid, and I think it's because it is at its heart, it is a heart-based business. It's a business based on a deep love of what you are doing and what you're bringing to the community, and not a love of, well, we're going into businesses to make a lot of money. It's a business about changing lives and changing the world through music, and I think that's a beautiful thing that should be elevated and honored.